Yes. Happy morning, students. Hope you all are doing good. After so long time, again we are meeting each other. Okay, welcome you all for the social class, children. Okay, fine. Happy to see you all again. And in today's class, we are going to see about the chapter that is the rise of nationalism in Europe. Okay, so today we are going to see about the rise of nationalism in Europe. We have already seen about the nationalism in India. Okay, there what are all the concepts we have seen? So we were under the, earlier we were under the control of monarchy. And then after that, we were under the control of colonialism. And again, the people were struggled to get the freedom or the nationalism. Yes or no? And in today's class, we are going to see about the rise of nationalism in the entire Europe. Just guys, imagine earlier we didn't have, now how we have divided the countries. We didn't have countries like this. Okay, because in the entire Europe, the continent, how the people were divided or how the places were divided, it was like a monarchy. The one kingdom will be there, one king will be there, the one provinces will be there. So like that it was divided. It was not like a countries has been divided. Okay, so but later we have seen in your ninth standard, do you guys remember? In your ninth standard we have studied about the French Revolution. So in that French Revolution, we understood that, that is the beginning for this kind of nationalism, equality, sovereignty, freedom, all those things. So in France, the people were struggling to be a free, to have a equality among themselves, to become a freedom. Okay. So there what happened, children? They started to fight against the monarchy. Okay, same in the entire Europe, how the countries were divided, how they became independent country. Okay, so that concept we are going to see about in this chapter, how the countries has been divided in Europe. So that is what here we are seeing, that the rise of nationalism in Europe. So Europe is a continent. In that continent, how many countries has been divided and how it has become independent nation, that we are going to see. Okay, because yes, the topics we are going to discuss in today's class, we'll see the introduction part alone and we'll go for recapitulation. Okay, yes children, so just imagine, the Europe is an entire continent. Okay, one continent, and in that continent so many countries we have got. But earlier, in the beginning, earlier we didn't have, the specific countries, for example like German, Poland, Ireland. We didn't have like this. The German itself was, the German was divided between the many, the countries now as we call like Poland, like that. So it was a part of the many other countries of the provinces. So later, they started to analyze, they wanted to become a one single nation, and then they started to fight against that, or they started to work upon that, and finally they got one single independent country or the nation. Okay, so yes, the one more thing children, I know today's homework, by the end of the day after this chapter, what you people will be doing, you just browse, check the old maps and all, just take the the entire Europe, the continent map, and try to mark the countries within that. Okay, which are all the countries are there in that continent, you have to mark. Okay, so the next thing here we are telling that the rise of nationalism in Europe. Okay, what do you mean by nationalism, children? What is the meaning of nationalism? Yes, exactly. It is a identification with one's own nation and support for its interests. So, for example, what happened for in India? So, it is a independent nation or independent country, And here what happens? We'll be proudly telling that I'm an Indian. Yes or no? So if there is no India, so the people were struggling the identification of their own nation and support for its interest, whatever the interest about that particular country, it should be there without any interference of the other nations. Okay, see here, especially to the exclusion or detriment of the interests of other nations. So other nations should not influence their interests. Okay, that is what the main idea of this nationalism. Okay, that is why the people were struggling in the entire Europe. So in Europe, how the countries has been divided, became independent nation. And this entire chapter will be seeing about that. Okay, so in the entire Europe, how the countries were became independent. Okay, yes. So coming to the the introduction, the Frederic Sorrieu was a French artist who made a series of 4 prints in the year 1848 through which he visualized his dream of world made of democratic nations and republics. So we have already seen about the French Revolution, children. So how those people were struggling to become a free, okay, the freedom or to get the equality or to abolish the monarchy. Okay, so the Frederick, he was one of the French artist. So he has drawn almost a series of prints, the paintings. So in his paintings, he used to visualize or he used to dream about the world. The how has to, the world has to be filled with the democratic nations and the republics. Okay, the socialist republics. So we know that what do you mean by democracy? Democratic nations means that every country has to be independent and they should, the people should have the freedom. Okay, and republics, it should have our own rights. The people should have their own rights. Okay, so that is what he was visualizing in his paintings. Okay, see here. The Frederic Sorrieu, in his first print series, depicted the men and women of all ages and social classes marching in a long train to pay homage to the Statue of Liberty. So just see this, the painting, children. So what he's imagining in his, the first painting. Yes, the series of people, the lot and lot of people, the men and women, both men and women with all the classes and all the ages. That means irrespective of their social classes and their age, all were marching towards like a human train. It's like a human train. They were marching towards to pay homage to the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. They were the freedom, to show the freedom. Okay, see here. This procession way past the Statue of Liberty is followed by the USA, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, the Kingdom of Two Slices, the Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary and Russia. So it was like a procession way past from all the people were in the Europe, the many countries, they were doing this. Okay, his imagination about the word. Okay, see here. The Christ saints and angels gaze upon the scene from heaven, which symbolizes fraternity among the nations of the whole world. So here what happens? Here you can see, children, the angels are there, the Christ is there, saints are there. So what, they are blessing the people from the heaven. It symbolizes the fraternity among the nation of the whole world. So all the nations, they are, they're becoming fraterned. Okay. So hope you guys are understanding, right? So in this entire chapter, we will be studying about how in the Europe, the rise of this nationalism, about, the one's own nation, the idea of the own, having their own nation has been started. Okay, see, the French Revolution artist personified the liberty as a female figure. So here what they are telling, in the French Revolution, the artists, they symbolized, or they have shown the Statue of Liberty as a female figure. Okay, even in India also, we'll be calling, India as a mother, motherland, and language is like a female. So we are treating like that. So same there also, in the French Revolution, the artist, they started to imagine, or they started to personify the liberty as a female figure. Okay, so here we can see that it's a female figure. See here, for example, what we'll see the example how they are personifying. See, the Statue of Liberty is a female figure. Yes or no, children? The Statue of Liberty is a, yes, female figure only. And bearing the torch of enlightenment in the one hand, see, the torch of enlightenment in the one hand, and the Charter of Rights of Man in the other hand. Here we can see the Charter of Rights in the other hand, and absolutist institutions were shown as shattered remains on the earth in the foreground of the image. So what do you mean by absolutism? Yes, children, so they will be having like a supreme power they'll be having. For example, take it as an example of India. So India, even though the central government is, the absolute power, but still we have the Supreme Court to question them. Yes or no? If something goes wrong, we have Supreme Court to question them. But earlier what happened? For example, if you take like a dictatorship, the absolutism is a kind of like a dictatorship. What happens there? No one will be having rights to question them. The absolute power, the complete, the supreme power will be with those things. Okay, so finally what they are telling, the absolute institutions were shown as shattered. The shattered remains on the earth in the foreground of the image. So they are telling that the Statue of Liberty is showing that the torch of enlightenment in the one hand and the Charter of Rights in the other hand, it is denoting that even the absolutist, this complete power institutions were shown as a shattered, that is closed. Okay, see here. The absolutist refers to the system of monarchical form of government which was centralized, militarized, and repressive. So as I told you people, what happens? The monarchy. What happens in the monarchy? Of course, the supreme power will be with the hands of only single person, that is the king. Other people will not be having any rights to question them. Yes or no? So it was like a centralized, the complete power was with the hands of single person, and the militarized, it is like a dictatorship, kind of dictatorship almost, and repressive. They were not giving any, the freedom to the people. It was not free to the people, and it is not helpful for the people. The people were not having any rights to question those people. Okay, as I told you people in India. So even though we call it as absolute power will be with the central government, but we have the Supreme Court to question them. Yes or no? But here it's not like that. So we have a democratic, that is a republic country. Yes or no? But earlier it was not like that. The absolutist. So the people who were having the complete power. So the absolute kind of system was there. The sovereign power, the complete, the supreme power was with the hands of those people. Okay. Hope you guys are understanding, right? So here what they are telling, the French artist, he was, the visualizing about the world in a, it has to be with the complete democratic nations. So it has to be with the complete democratic nations and the socialist republic people. Okay, that is what he was imagining about the world.